Today we're gonna do a forecast on again same thing, on the month of May, which is the month of the snake. Right, so it's gonna be an interesting month, really very interesting month, and very scary month. Right, so it's like the what you call tipping point month of everything. Right, don't worry, everything will be all right. We'll pass through everything quite nicely. Okay, guys, right, so let's head towards the slide and let's have everything get ready and basically started. Let me just set the slide for you all. Right, so hopefully you guys can see the slide. Right, oh my goodness, I don't know how to change the slide. Okay, never mind, we'll find it. Right, so for those of you who have just first joined this session of a monthly astrological forecast, we are doing it for the month of May. So my name is Kevin Chan. So I'm the author of two books, BaZi Road to Success and also BaZi Road to Parenthood. I am a consultant working with the Joey Yap Consulting Group. So I have been featured with a lot of media, including TV like Bernama, Melody FM, which is a radio station. So a lot of property function, I will basically show up. Those are the places you can find me. So we are going to talk about the month of May 2020. So which is the Xin, so it's metal snake. So we're talking about the month of snake. We are just enter it, which is the first of the summer month. So you need to take note that a very interesting month because the snake combined with the monkey, and the snake clashes with the pig. So if you take a look at the snake, monkey, and pig, right? So now the snake carry one of the more disturbing star this year, which is the death charm. So later I'll talk a little bit about the death charm, but just know that first. The pig has the sickness charm. And if those of you who have been following, the monkey has a lot of black star around. So you can see that these three fella interacting with each other. Basically, this month is pretty much a lot of negative star around. So death charm is a contamination star. So it is the star that now in the olden day when they talk about death, right? So a lot of time they misconstrued the entire idea of death. Because when you visit a funeral, because the body is decomposing, so it's actually very contaminated. But people there doesn't know what is sickness, what is contaminant, what is germ. They don't know. So a lot of people who is relatively weak when they go for funeral or they go for a burial ground where there's a lot of corpse is decomposing, they catches disease, and they mysteriously die. So that's why they call it the death charm. But in actual sense, it's very contaminated, right? So snake month with the current situation, so if you have snake in your chart, if you have monkey in your chart, and if you've got pig in your chart, I highly advise you not to try going to places which is problematic, right? So it's not a month for you to basically do any trying. So for those of you who have not printed the BaZi chart, do go and get a BaZi chart printed. So this month it is about May the 5th until June the 4th. So we're going to do the forecast for this particular month. So it's Xin, so you can take a look at that. So it's metal snake for the year of 2020. That's the one we're going to talk about. So for those of you who have not plotted your chart, you need to get your chart plotted, because this session we are not talking about animal sign, we are talking about day master. So for you to identify your day master, you have to get your chart plotted. So please go to dojoyup.com /BaZi chart to get your BaZi chart plotted. So if you get your BaZi chart plotted, you can basically take a look at it. The one that we want to pay attention to is your day master, which is at the day column, which is usually highlighted in gold color. The top one, that is the one that you want to target. So the forecast is based on the day master. It is not based on any animal sign, right? So we're going to take a look at the day master. So we're going to take a look at the perception from the perspective of the day master. All right. So hopefully you can catch it and also follow with this. So we're gonna go and take a look at Jia Wood first. So Jia Wood is usually the first one that we always take care of it. So now, what is the interaction this month when you talk about Jia Wood? So the Xin bring two significant energy for the Jia people, which is the direct officer from the Xin Metal, and also the eating god from the Bing fire, which is the hidden energy inside the snake. So we are talking about these two. So when you see direct officer, it's always about taking charge. Direct officer means that a power has been passed to you. So direct officer is always a power that is bestowed upon you, a power that is passed down to you. So it's a higher force, which means a boss pass you some power. So this month, you want to take a look at, would my authority level increase? Yes, this is the month whereby your authority level would be increasing. But with power come responsibility, so you know that, right? So or else the power won't go to you, right? So you are expected to take charge of the situation, right? So you are expected to take charge of the situation, and usually when you're expected to take charge of the situation, you need to make some unpopular decision, right? So that's why you are asked to take charge, or else there's no need for you to basically take charge on anything if you don't need to make any decision. And if the decision is easy to make, again, they don't need to pass it to you for you to take charge, right? So they can take charge on their own, right? So what you need to be careful of is that now the year carry this 7 killing energy. So the Geng Metal basically is carrying the 7 killing energy, and now you have the direct officer, and then now 7 killing is a person who take power. Direct officer is a person who receives power. So if you take a look at it, 7 killing, it put it in a way, 7 killing have less respect for power because they can go and take it. Direct officer have more respect for power because they sit there and receive it. So please do not send conflicting signal to people. So if you are going to make a decision, make a clear cut decision, right? Do not make those kind of decision whereby you go by, wait, let me go back and check. Wait, let me go back and check. Those are not making decisions. When you make clear-cut decision there and then, you stand your ground and make your decision. So you need to basically do that. So things that you have to do, action you want to take this way is to receive the mandate, receive the particular mandate, so that people can see, have a sense of your confidence and also your ability to decide and lead. So don't disappoint the emperor. So don't disappoint the boss lah. So basically, boss is having quite a lot of what you call sureness, have a lot of hope and dream put upon you that you can take charge of the situation and to be able to lead people. So that is your story if you are a Jia Wood. So again, for long-winded purpose, I'm telling you, problem is coming your way, but you are having the power to basically seize the problem and do something about the problem. So you need to take charge of the situation. So that's what you are supposed to do. So what about if you are Yi Wood? So if you are Yi Wood, you take a look at it right now. It become a little bit more chaotic already because the scenes bring you two very strong, very outwardly direction energy, which is the 7 killing from the Xin Metal, and the Bing Fire carry what we call a hurting officer. So both of these are attacking energy. 7 killing and hurting officer both are attack word energy. So if you take a look at it, it gives you a lot of courage here. So give you a lot of courage, right? So you can use it to kick away bad habits. Get the important routine started. So this is a very strong power to basically attack outward. So it is good to break bad habit. You can use this to basically do a bit of bad habit breaking, right? So careful things you need to be careful of is basically defiance, right? So both the 7 killing and also hurting officer is very defiant. They don't follow rule, they like to do things that they love to do. So be very careful of the decision that you are making. Be very careful of whose tail or whose foot or whose toes that you are stepping on. Just don't do any bridges burning, right? So it's just 1 month, right? So that this particular month you feel you're very courageous, but it is just 1 month, right? So start something that is useful for you. Start something that you normally would find it difficult for you to start. Get that started. So it's good. And of course, during the MCO period, I think unfortunately, or maybe I'm very sorry that you maybe have put on some weight. Maybe it's time for you to go on a weight loss regime. Maybe it's time for you to cut the Netflix. It's quite a bad things, right? So start a good habit. Use this month to basically start something good, right? So it's a good month for you to basically start something that help with your health situation. So usually starting a health regime is very difficult. So use this month the energy to attack, to attack the bad habit, don't go and attack people, right? So if you eat wood, do prioritize on that. So those are the ones that you want to take a look at. So Pink Fire, now Pink Fire, we take a look at that. Now Pink Fire, actually this year pretty much Pink Fire, for the start of the year is pretty much quite good. Most of the month in the beginning of the year is quite good. So this is also going to be quite a good month for Pink Fire, because why? Xin Metal is direct wealth to them, right? So direct wealth has a lot to do with what you call responsibility, effort, and also getting a good return for the energy that you put in. And your Pink Fire, meeting the Pink Fire inside the snake is basically friend start. That's has a lot to do with support. So there's going to be a lot of people is basically supporting all these things that you have. So you have the indirect wealth in the year, and then you have the direct wealth inside the month right now. So both the wealth star basically is existing inside the chart right now at this current moment, right? So it's pretty much quite nice, It's pretty much quite nice of the situation. And additionally, you have the earth inside the snake, which is a hidden energy, which carry the eating god energy. So eating god produces both the wealth star. So what else do you want? It's basically quite a good month, right? So it's almost imminent for success. It's pretty much quite good for a successful month. Provided that you do something about it, right? If you sit around, then no point. Success won't come to you. You have to go and pursue success. So be careful of those people who you call friends. So as you are more successful, you will attract more people to come and want to share your success, right? Nicely call it share your success, not nicely call it is called freeloader, right? So you need to be careful of a lot of freeloader. So if you are not very careful, the wealth may be collapsed by the friends that you have. So you need to be very careful, right? So better walk alone, better walk alone. So you need to be really careful with the friends that you choose to be associated with. When you are going through a good streak, suddenly you got a lot of friends. But it's only during your downtime that you know who are your true friends. So at this current moment, it is really very easy for you to find friends, but their intention may be something that you need to question. So your acquaintance will define you. So you need to be very careful of that. You need to be really, really good of it, or else you may risk people siphoning away all your success. So you have to be very, very careful with the things that you're doing. So Pink Fire, don't be too up in the air, what we call, right? So Think Fire, Think Fire, interestingly, Think Fire also, if Pink is seeing both the wealth star, Think Fire is also seeing both the wealth star, right? So it's just basically in a reverse situation. So Think Fire, the scene is basically indirect wealth. So the Pink Fire is basically rock wealth. So when you're taking a look at indirect wealth is a lot to do with opportunistic win. It has a lot to do with the entire idea of what we call an opportunistic win. So indirect wealth always target gap. Easy to do, high return is always indirect wealth game. And rock wealth is always about strategic competition with the people around you. So you can see that, this is a very careful month whereby, it's like a sniper or like a panther waiting for the deer to walk by and come out and jump on the situation. So it's a month whereby you can potentially get a lot of easy win if only you have the patience. If only you have the patience to wait, there's going to be a lot of opportunity that present itself and walk by, which you can, just jump in and, just grab the opportunity, right? So be cautioned that, the thing that you're aiming for is something that someone else also wants, right? Someone also wants it, you also don't blame if somebody else jump at it first because you are apprehensive of the situation. So when you're apprehensive of the situation, someone else may jump on it first because you need to understand, right? If you can spot the easy win, somebody else will be able to spot it as well, right? So take it or lose it is basically up to you when you see the entire situation. So, if you are faced with this sort of situation, Richard Branson always say, if you're given an opportunity, take it first, later only bother about how to get it done. Right, so just move along with the opportunity. You don't need to really seek approval, right? So if you take a look at this, you grab the opportunity first, right? So and later on, you thought about, so you want to split the opportunity with other people later. It's up to you, but if you spot the opportunity, it look nice, and just take it, right? Don't be don't be too concerned, right? Who Earth, right? The Earth people. So Xin Metal to the wolf is hurting officer, and Ping fire to the wolf people is basically indirect resource. So you are predominantly working with these two energy. Worth noting is that you already have a Geng Metal, which is an eating god in the year. So in the year stem is it, and there is a hidden Geng Metal inside snake as well. So this is basically connected. So eating god is basically connected. So you have your output star, which is basically rooted right now. So because hurting officer is about standing in front, hurting officer is about getting the limelight. It is all about getting the fame. It's all about going out and that. So this is a time for you to get famous, right? So spotlight is basically shine on you. You need to get your act together lah. So when the spotlight shine on you, right, the idea is very simple. The spotlight doesn't do anything. Just remember, spotlight never does anything. It doesn't dictate your performance. But when the spotlight is on you, everybody is expecting a show. So whether you want to sing, whether you want to dance, whether you want to play the piano, whether you want to do a magic trick, it's all up to you. But of course, if you choose to stand there frozen and do nothing, everyone will also see you. So that is the things that you need to be careful of. So things you need to caution of is called chasing the shiny thing, right? So with fame a lot on it, with the spotlight shining in your eye, right, you may not see clearly what is ahead of you. Be careful of the staircase. Okay, so don't try to chase too many shiny things around. Right, so there's going to be a lot of shiny thing around because you're famous, right? When you're famous that time, a lot of people, may tend to again also come near you because you're famous. They want to be together with you. You can be a bit up in the air, right? So get focused. So what you want to do this month is basically get focused. So you can't have everything, right? So you cannot have everything. Focus on the one that is most connected and charge agent. Use the fame as a pushing force for you to go forward. So the fame basically is a recognition to the things that you are doing. So you need to use the fame in such a way, and don't let the fame be a stumbling block to the thing that you are basically doing. Right. So get yourself very, very focused. Right. Jia friend, people from the Jia friend. Jia has always been a star that is very giving. Right, so the G-Earth is meeting with Eating God right now. So Eating God is a very different, although it's an output energy, same like the Hurting Officer. Now, Hurting Officer is very outward. It try to travel outward. Eating God try to travel inward. Right, Eating God is basically try to travel inward. So Eating God is more the, in the world of creative, then the Hurting Officer is the singer, the Eating God is the songwriter. So the songwriter usually hide behind. So that is basically the idea of Eating God. So the pink fire is basically resource star, direct resource star. So direct resource has a lot to do with research development. So when you put these two together, inward creativity with research development is basically innovative development, right? So it's a time to idea for you to basically take right from other which is good and then make it even greater. So innovate, develop for whatever that is already working, or things that is basically already working right now, right? Innovate and then make it even much more better. And of course, your year is a hurting officer. Eventually, you would need to let the thing out and let people in to basically support you on the entire thing. That's eventuality. You need to do it, right? So be cautious of chasing fad lah. Now, the dangerous part about having idea is that when you have too many idea, too many spin-off. Right, so when the brain is basically working, this looks like a good idea. From this, I can spin off to this, spin off to this, spin off. You got so many spin off that you have actually not developed any one of it. So you got no good foundation. So don't chase after empty fame. Don't chase after empty opportunity. Make sure that it is grounded. The thing that you are doing need to be grounded. So it's your action substance over appearance. Get the important things done first, worry about the packaging much later. So packaging is not what you want to do, you need to make the thing functional, usable, and needed, right? Not to make it nice. So Eating God have a bad habit of trying to make things nicer, right? So they want the icing to be like smooth, instead of having a nice tasting icing, they want smooth icing instead. Okay, so that's something that Eating God need to controls a bit, right? But overall should be quite good lah, right? So Geng Metal, now Geng Metal, the metal family, which is the Geng and Xin, right? This particular year is actually quite chill for them. It's pretty much quite a chill year for them because they are meeting with their companion star. So this year they're basically this month they are basically meeting with the Xin Metal, which is their rock wealth. So rock wealth is a lot to do with competition, right? So rock wealth is a lot to do with competition, fighting with people, and also a 7K. So 7K is aggressive already. So you got rock wealth and 7K together is basically a very aggressive competition. So it's a very intense competition. So great formation if you want to gain foothold in the market, right? So it's very good for removing blockages, right? So this is basically direct hitting onto whoever try to block you. So whatever will try to compete with you, if the person doesn't really have a good footing, you're gonna ram it. No, it's really like the American football, where the footballer run at intense speed with the ball and ram onto the competition. If that person doesn't have a good footing, the fellow will fly, right? So it's that kind of situation, right? So of course, if you are intense in doing this, you may lose some friends. Okay, so be careful of it. You may basically be losing some friends. So you may not want to do unnecessary thing to harm them. So because as the thing, just because before you compete and go all out to win the situation, ask yourself first: is this person you still want as a friend or not? If you want as a friend, you may not want to win, right? So you may want to take a day. So be clear of who is friend, who is foe. Now in a business environment, friend and foe is basically fine. But in a more personal environment, friend and foe is very clear. So you need to be careful in that. So which means if you are really engaging in, let's say, a business tender, or you're fighting for your market leads, or you're fighting for your sales, it's okay for you to be aggressive at that situation. It's basically is perfectly fine for it. But if let's say it's a friend situation, right? You need to be a little bit more tactful with it, because this friendship may be a bit more longer lasting than anything. So you need to be careful of that. So again, just remember, right? This is called monthly forecast. So which the energy is gonna last for a month. You got 12 months. So what are you gonna do with the rest of the month? So right. So if you decide to do something this month which is detrimental, you may spend the next few months try to repair the situation, which is not good, right? So make sure you direct the energy to the correct direction that help you with your overall yearly plan. Now, Xin Metal, this year is going to be more. This month is basically going to be more mellow because it's seeing the friend star. So the friend star is always not as aggressive as the Rockwell star. So Rockwell star want to compete with people. The friend star just want to be part of the people. So the friend star always just want to be part of everybody. So it's not there to compete, right? So friend star doesn't that. So you got a direct officer say would also mean that the direct officer give you the ability to follow rule. So which basically mean that you are going to be a person who is going to follow whatever the rule of the group is. So you're going to be very nice. Cantonese say very guai. So it's going to be very obedient to the group situation. So take a look at it. It's called a public respect. So you're willing to you're winning the respect of the people, of the public. So because you are part of it, you are showing people that, hey, I'm also like all of you, as part of you, things like that. So you can fully leverage this to increase people's heart. So now if you have somebody if you have to run a PR piece. Now, right now, MCO, things like that, all the company is very jittery like that. You need to send somebody out to basically do a PR work, to tell people that, hey guys, we are just like you. We are, in the same boat. Okay, the proper term is we are in the same storm like everybody else, probably different boats, right? So want to do this out of public PR thing, get a Xin Metal to do it. This is basically quite good, right? So don't spend too much time on your rival, right? So instead spend it on your fans, right? So why don't spend too much time on your rival? So that the year stem is basically rock wealth, and the snake carry a rock wealth. So the rock wealth star is basically connected. So if you are not focused on people who support you, whether you waste your time on people who doesn't support you, right? So you're wasting your energy, and also you are wasting the respect and power that's given to you. So your job this month is basically to add more value into everything. Put more into the faithful fans that you have. Stop responding to the rival. Don't need to respond to the rival. Just focus on the people who are supporting you. So be a friend, people. Be a friend, people. Be that voice of reason. Be the voice of reason for everybody, right? So always favorite is Ren Water, because Ren Water is me. Ren Water basically is me, so always the favorite one. Direct resource. So now direct resource has a lot to do with learning. So in the olden day, direct resource is the measuring yardstick to basically decide if this person should be taken in as a student or not. So which means that if a master were to assess you as a student, as a person who can be taken under the wing and teach you things, is direct resource. So when you see this star appearing, means that they are going to be people who are willing to bring you in as a mentee. So they are willing to mentor you. So which is a very important part of business or any career. This is basically a very good month. So hidden down there in the snake is indirect wealth. So indirect wealth, so is pursuit of easy return. So pursuit of easy return. So that require a little bit of tweaking. And that resource and wealth star is basically polar opposite. They clashes and counter each other. So that is the part that you need to be a little bit more careful of. So listen to those who has wiser and more experience than you, and it will carry opportunity towards you. So look hard for the mentor that you want. So it's a month for you to basically look for the mentor. So you can basically look for it. The mentor is ready to accept you once you open your mouth and probably ask the mentor to help you. So try not to scatter your attention. Focus on the guidance given, and dig deep into it, so to obtain the knowledge. So be careful of the indirect wealth of trying to find easy way out. Right, so it's not time for you to get that. So now water like to move fast. That's the very normal. Ren Water are usually all over the places very fast. They spread real fast. They do things real fast. They're very forceful. But this month is time for you to move a bit more slower. Right, this month is for you to move a little bit more slower, so that things are under control a bit. So the resource star is actually notorious for being cautious. Right, so resource star is always about being cautious, very notorious. So too much thinking is actually not too healthy. So the resource star causes a lot of overthinking. So ensure that there are sufficient action. Ensure that there are basically sufficient action. So be like water. Move where it's supposed to move. Move where it is ought to be moving. Right. So don't stand there and wait. Right. So be careful of the overwhelming amount of resource star there. Okay. So finally, the last one, which is Gui Water. So which is Gui Water, the clouds. So Gui Water is the cloud. So Gui Water is given the energy of indirect resource. Right? Indirect resource has a lot to do with intuition. So if the direct resource is to learn anything deep, indirect resource is to learn anything wide. So they are basically much faster in terms of responding. Right? Indirect resource respond much faster than direct resource. Right, so and the hidden energy is direct wealth. So direct wealth is more the stable one. And just to note, right, this particular month, the Gui Water is meeting with the noble branch. Noble branch mean what? Direct officer, direct wealth, direct resource. So the three direct together is basically called a noble branch. So basically, this month can be called a really, really good month for Gui Water. Right, so you got power, you got wealth, you can have knowledge. Is basically pretty much quite nice of a month, right? So great opportunity opening for you. Just jump on it, right? So anything that you go, because indirect wealth is about having that intuition. So follow the intuition, jump on the thing that you're supposed to jump on, right? Doubting your self-worth is, you need to be careful. So that is from the resource star. Now always more resource star when you are facing with a bunch of resource star. The natural thing that resource star will do is to process and more process. So they will try to find, especially in direct resource, right? So if you have doubt, it will go and find more doubt, right? So those are the things that you need to be careful of. No time for being humble, right? So even if you don't have previous good experience, right, just go ahead and get it done, right? Be agile, right? Like the Gui Water, you need to be agile, right? Be agile, be act. So you need to basically, you know, take the opportunity, you know, everything, you know, you need to basically move ahead and get things done, right? So those are the things that you need to do that, right? So this is all the 10 stamp that we have, you know, that's basically the forecast for the month. So if you need to watch more of the video, you know, please go to YouTube. You know, you can go to YouTube, which is the Joey Yap TV channel. So it's going to be there. So this particular episode also, we're going to be going up in about a week time. So we need the team to do a bit of a processing, and they will basically be there. So if you need to download the notes, you know, you can go to kevinchan.joeyyap.com, which I was informed the site has a bit of an issue right now. Right, so no, but you can still go there, so and you know, get the things up for yourself. So let me just stop the slide right now, and you know, let's see any question that we have. Right, let's take a look at it. So if you are going to ask a question, please change your chat mode to question and put in the question, because without the chat mode on question, I don't know if it's a chat or a question, because it will show up as red color on my side. So like Raman here, right? So day pillar is Jia Xu, month is Geng Xu. Okay, so you have a 7 killing month, right? 7 killing month with a Geng Xu, Jia and Geng Xu. Okay, a pretty strong 7 killing month. And Ren Xu, I'm going to start online consultancy this month. What is the advice on the action plan? So actually, if you take a look at this, right, at this current timing right now, and given that the idea of period 9 coming in, right, so if you are not online, you got a little bit of an issue already. So it's not even a question of, you know, whether online or not online. So, but you are talking about consultancy right now, right? So funny thing is that, you know, this morning somebody PM me and, you know, asked me, you know, why some consultants say, you know, consultancy is this element, that element. Now, Geng Metal as a consultancy, which is a 7 killing as a consultancy, right? This is like a assassin, right? So how does assassin solve problem? Now, so consultant basically someone here to basically solve problem. So how do assassins solve problem? They sit down, listen to, you know, what are your thing, you know, whatever it is. So does the assassin ask you to go and do the work? No, the assassin will go and kill the person for you. So you are the type, you know, you want to do consultancy, you need to do the assassin type of consultancy. After you have, you know, done everything, you need to be vested with the ability to go and execute. So you are those type of consultant when you're dealing with a Geng consultant, right? So if you're going to do consultancy, make sure that you are consulting on things that you can execute. If you are relying on other people to execute, might have a bit of an issue. Okay, right. Let's see June here, right? So Yi Day Master, right? Jimao Man pillar, Geng Shu pillar, whatever. I have the combination of Shi, Shen, and Hai. What is the advice for career this month? No, very simple. If you have all the problem is not basically the combine of it. It's just that this 3-star right now carried all the dangerous auxiliary star that is basically not really fun this year. So if you know the place is contaminated, please don't go and challenge. That's it. Don't go challenge, right? So you know, don't go take the risk, right? So I have snake and also 2 horses, which is also no fun. So I don't take risks. I don't really take challenges, right? So it got nothing to do with being low profile. No, those animal sign is just basically, I'm just basically telling you to tell you that you are more exposed to the, you know, this virus situation than any other people, because of the combination of star that you basically have there. So if you take a look at it, you know, there are good opportunity this month. So, you know, if you take a look at that, you know, so you have to be aggressive this month. So you know the E-Wood this month is supposed to be aggressive. So you need to be a little bit more aggressive now. Couple with the aggressive star together, right? So again, if you know the place is having a bit of an issue with contamination, please do not go and challenge it, right? Don't go and challenge the situation, right? So profiling wise, you are 100% in terms of percentage software. The software will always give you 100% one, right? Right. So 20-7 killing profile. I'm a Wu Earth Day Master currently experiencing Jia Wood horse luck pillar. Could I ask if this year is actually great overall because of 7 killing clash away? Now, in actual traditional way of reading it, right, they don't like 7 killing. They do not. Seriously, they do not like the entire idea of 7 killing is because of a risk assessment or the risk factor the 7 killing carry. So you need to know in the olden day, a lot of things is settled through sword fight. You can die, right? So but today you don't have that problem, you know. So 7 killing basically give you courage, but you still need to have a good footing or assessment of risk. So your issue right now is basically risk assessment. Okay, so be careful of how you assess risk. Easiest way is get someone to verify the information that you have. So Granda, this is called half a question. Man is Geng Metal Tiger additional info. Additional info for what, Granda? Half a question, don't know how to do it. Right? Ted Low, buy property, buy lah. What's wrong with it? Right? It's a good month to buy. Every month is a good month to buy property. Right? Buy property is very easy. It's very easy to buy property. Can you pay for the property long term? I think that's the better question to ask, right? Right? And this is a good time to buy, right? It's actually a good time to buy. But will you survive the process? That is a different question. Right? So on the BaZi chart, monthly section next to each yearly branch animal star have a word like sickness, death, grave. That is called the 12 growth phases. Cantonese skill sub yi cheong sung. That describe the phase of energy that your day master is going through in that particular season. So it is part of a, we call advanced knowledge, which is actually pretty old system. Normally, we don't really use it too much, right? So there are specific area that we use it, and there are specific school who use it a lot. So we usually only use the 10 God, but that measured your day master, energy phase, 12 growth phases, talk about the phase. All right, so Samantha, so you are Ren Water, I'm also Ren Water as well. Man is G Earth, so it's DO. So man is G Earth mean that you are in month of Chou or maybe Wei lah. Don't know which one. So my boyfriend is doing pharmacy related trading. So it's not yours lah. So this is your boyfriend. Ren Water is your boyfriend. But it's not moving. Pharmacy also not moving. What is? I don't know. You've only got half an information, right? So if Ren Water with so much resource this month is that what is your boyfriend researching? I can only tell you about this month because your question involved quite a lot of things at the back. Then you need to check a lot of things inside the thing. But now overall, I can just tell you, right? Ren Water with G Earth is not really a good friend. It's basically a muddle thinking. So it's basically is a muddled water. Not really too good of a combination. Okay, so Serene here is Day Masters Bing Fire month, Geng Metal year, Bing Fire month. Day Master Bing Fire month is Geng. Okay, month is Geng. All right. So is a wealth structure. Okay, quite okay. GI, we will be able to get a job this month. Getting a job, usually you look at combo, so your information doesn't really give any combo information, right? But it's a wealth month, it's a wealth month. But now seriously, Serene, currently company also doesn't know if they can survive or not. Now you're asking to get a job, right? So the company doesn't even know if they have enough food to eat or not. You are going over there to ask them to give you food. Problem. Right? So if you are going there to tell them that I know how to find more food for you, it's a different question, right? So if you are going there, expecting them to give you a handout, then you really have a big problem. But if you are going there telling them that, hey, I know how to get revenue to your company, would you like to employ me? That is a different question. That's a different ballgame. Okay, so depending on what you are basically looking at, but overall, it's a good month because of the wealth stuff. Right, so Douglas here, day master is Jia. Okay, Jia is basically meeting with DO this month. Main year is Yang was seeking a career as a student recruitment. Let me just check for you. Month is Xin. With Jia with month is Xin Yin. Okay, Yin Metal. The month is Yin Metal. That's half of it. So never mind. So month is Yin Metal. Basically, is a direct wealth structure. Should be quite okay lah. Direct wealth structure. Right. So you know, if we're talking about career as a student recruitment, right? Recruitment usually is earth related. Usually is earth related. So you need to go and read your chart whether the earth is, you know, are useful or not useful. Melissa, this month is considered no good. Cannot answer your question because I don't know what is your question. Right? Why is this month is considered no good? In what perspective? It depends on what you want to do. Depends on what you are doing. Whether good or good or no good always depend on what you are doing. So normal example I always give to people, there's an accident in front there. Is it good or not good? If you are the tow truck fella, it's good. It's business. If you are the workshop fella, it's good. It's business. If you are the person who sell lottery ticket, it's good. It's business. Because you can start sending your customer, hey, this car just bang, no. Want to buy the number, buy a number, no. It's good business. Right? So if you are the person who get banged by the car, it's not good. If you're a person who banged the car, also is not good. So depending where is the incident, don't change. So born here, right? Bing Wu, Bing is great, ma. Ji Chou. So Bing and Chou is basically an output structure, right? So blah blah blah. The rest is number. How is the chart failing this month specifically? So you can go back to the Bing month and rewatch it later. Okay, so I've already you know, informed you on that. So it's good for you to rewatch the Bing one, right? So David, career, your year is 几四, you don't need the year. Month is 丁丑, okay. Day is 几丑, so it's basically 几 day master on a 丁丑 month. So my profile is friend and connector, but I'm on an IT software development. Should I switch to the frontline job? You should switch to a job whereby you can talk to people, don't talk to machine. A companion star usually not good at talking to machine, right? So you can still work in IT, but you need to talk to more human, right? So whether frontline, backline, the keyword here is that talk to the human, don't talk to the cable, right? So don't talk to the cable, you know, do that, right? Business venture is a big question, right? So you don't want to use such little information to go for a big question. Paul Kim Lee, right? So Bing Shen, so it's a Bing, right? Yi Mao. So Yi Mao right now is basically Wood, a resource structured person. Bing and Wood, a resource structured person. How can I be more productive and can I do trading as a side gig? I want to just confirm to you, trading is actually not a side gig. Trading is not a side gig, right? So a side gig means that is something that you directly do and involve in to create value. Trading, you don't create value, right? Because what do you do in the trading? You buy a company. Who run the company? The other guy run the company. Whatever you do in your house doesn't affect whatever the company is. You're basically just pouring money into a place and hope that money come back to you. So trading is not actually a side gig, okay? So just want to confirm that for you. So whenever you want to do trading, also basically you can do trading. That is not a problem. Trading, like buying a house is the same question. You can buy, you can trade. That's not much of a problem. So the way that BaZi assess that is from a very different perspective, right? So those one we got time only, we go after that. So Rina Kwok also Ren Water, right? Great, Ren Water in 1991. What do you mean by X low if you want to get a mentor in a new job? Not X low. Don't do too much thinking. Do not do too much thinking, right? So when resource star is particularly heavy for any day master at all, when resource star is particularly heavy, you are in a state of fear actually, right? So resource star like sureness. That's why resource star do a lot of research, do a lot of find out, do a lot of study because they want to be sure, right? So right now is that for you to basically move in a more smoother manner, make sure you are not thinking too much, right? So like getting a mentor, right? Who's the mentor that you want to get? Just go there and ask, hey, would you mind mentoring me? Ta-da, done. No, don't think too much like, the person, position is so high, maybe, he won't like me coming after and ask him, oh yeah, very busy lah, this person, let's not, go to it. Don't do all these things. Don't do all these things, right? So right. So first of all, I'd like to say that this is not an auxiliary class star. So if you start to ask, broken star, prison star, everybody start to ask, there is about at least minimum 108 of them. So it's gonna, take a lot of time. Now, broken star is a lon chen chen, right? Broken star is basically lon chen chen. It's very butterfinger. So you get a lot of things broken. That's basically the broken star. Prison image, lose what you call lose freedom. It's a feeling of not having freedom. That's basically prison image. Okay. Xin Day Master, yes, Xin Day Master is great this year, very friendly. Year Wu Chen, don't need the year. Jia Yin, Jia Yin is good, man. It's a direct well structure. Right, Jojo, so you have a direct well structure. That's pretty much quite nice. There is a punishment between Xin and Yin. Don't care about the punishment, a small matter only lah. And I work in agricultural field. Good. Yin Wood month work in agricultural field is good. Something that need to be cautioned of. Now, for this particular month right now, anytime when you are dealing with a friend star, right, the risk is herd mentality. That the risk. A friend star risk is herd mentality. While you try to please everybody, you lose yourself. Right, so you better be careful of the group of people that you are trying to please. Right, it's not funny group of guy that is having a suicidal mentality. Just be careful of that lah. Right, so Wu Shi, right? Fanny here is Wu Shi. Man is Geng Wu, right? I'm going to take on a great responsibility this month onward in career. Big challenge. Okay. So you got a Wu. So this year is basically a clash year. So I'm just gonna tell you this year is gonna be a clash year. So this month you're gonna go into it on a snake month. So now just remember, snake, horse, monkey, they all carry a lot of problematic stars this year. A lot of problematic stars this year. So expect the project to be very problematic. Good point is that a lot of learning. So your critical area right now is December. By the time you reach December, I think you will reach a very critical point in your career, whether you want to decide to continue playing or not continue playing. So without the rest of your chart, very difficult to give you a full, what you call a full prognosis on the situation. But this month you are going through hurting officer, so you have to be careful with what you promise people. Right, hurting officer tend to over exaggerate promises. Okay, so Joey. Want to start finding a good company to join as a free internship. Okay, so at least it's free. Future employment opportunity. What action could max the chance of having a search? Xin Yu, you need to Man is Ren Xu. So Xin on Ren is already hurting officer. Look good will be good. So hurting officer is a lot about looking good. Hopefully you got a very colorful social profile. So if you're a colorful social profile, or now very basic, if you still do the classical way of looking for a job is make sure your resume is shiny. That's it. Make sure your resume is bubbly and shiny. Right. So put on a good show. Okay. So that basically will help you a lot. So hurting officer is a lot about showmanship. What you show out when you stand there. Victor. So I have a right. So I'm going to be kicked out very soon already. Right. Sorry, Victor. It's going to be the last question I'm answering today. Right. So they are beeping me to cut off already. Right. So you have a Jia Shen. So Jia is basically looking at a what you call the direct officer. So pretty much quite good. Jia and Ji is again a direct wealth with a U there with each a direct officer. Okay, pretty much quite good. Direct wealth, direct officer is a very good combination. Thrive report say the earthly branch combination. Okay, so Shen and Si. Okay, Shen and Si. Okay, Ji whatever said. Okay, with the description of couple could find themselves in long distance agreement. However, I'm home with my wife. how to interpret. Then don't need to interpret this lah. You want to interpret, right? Solution is basically good. Don't interpret it in that particular manner. You're married already, then don't bother. Right? So you want to interpret this, right? You have a long distance girlfriend, right? Yeah. So that's it. You got a long distance girlfriend, right? So those are the ones. So hey guys, very sorry. I know you got a lot of question here. It seems to be a lot of question here, but you know, unfortunately, for this session, time is really up because you know I have a colleague later, which is have a second session at 8 o'clock. So I need to get the platform back to them so that they can do their setup. Right. So thank you everybody for basically joining this session. You know, again, you know, not that I want to be a doom bringer. So normally, you know, this session I don't really do any doom bringing, but monkey, snake, pig, if it's inside your chart, this month is not a month for you to try drastic stuff. Okay, please don't try drastic stuff. You know, if the place is dangerous, you know, please don't go. Right, stay safe, really stay safe. Don't take chances. Make sure that you are protected so that you know your family is protected as well. Right, so the important thing is that your family is protected, you are protected as well. Right, so whatever other thing that happen can be fixed. If your health get into trouble, your family health get into trouble, that's very difficult to fix. All right, so guys, stay home, stay safe. If you do not need to go out, don't go out. Thank you very much for everybody for joining this session. See you again next month. Bye bye guys.